This is a homemade broadcast radio production.
Whether your radio dial is set to music or news or talk, each could be offensive.
But when it comes to making waves on the air, dicey language and spicy topics are turning up all over the dial. If you're not a regular to this type of radio, here's a word of caution. You may find it explicit. You decide if Tampa Bay radio is blaring out airwaves or shockwaves. Turn on your radio and find wholesome family entertainment. Turn on your radio today and make your mother blush. Almost nothing is sacred these days when it comes to radio, except not losing the station's license. Radio personalities are pushing all the limits. They find the language in this story explicit, but the Federal Communications Commission has never fined a Tampa Bay radio station. You be the judge. Are they airwaves or shockwaves?
I don't agree with all of it, but it's very popular.
Personnel, this is CBTS. Base vehicle pre-count operations will start on my mark at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It is the homemade broadcast, episode 491. We are live streaming right now on YouTube, willsyoutube.com, Twitter, home_made_man, and HMB Radio on Facebook. Joining me is Anna Hummel. Hold on, let me turn your mic on. There you go.
Hello.
You okay?
Yeah. I was, thankfully the sound wasn't on, but I took a drink of water, went down the wrong hole, and then it's one of those. So glad I spared the audience that obnoxious sound. So.
Yeah, that's okay. That happens. You can get in touch with the show, 813-693-2124. We do live stream on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. If you can join us, that would be great. Leave comments, interact with the program, share it on your social media. That really helps out. If you're listening on Radio St. Pete later in the future, well, we welcome you aboard, and hopefully you'll join us next week on Wednesday at 4 p.m. over at willsyoutube.com. And this week, Anna, I had a few things, and I don't know if I brought this up before or not. I am amazed at this. This is something, let me pull it up here. Present. I'm going to pull this. I'm going to share my screen. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Facebook, and I'm going to share this. Do you know what this is? It's kind of hard to make out. I know I can't make it any bigger.
Exercise patience.
Exercise.
Is this a Jesus thing?
Yes, it is.
I've gotten something like that before.
Oh, you have? Okay, so that's my question. It was not only the brochure itself, but it was also the handwritten note that was.
Is it a big handwritten note?
Handwritten note. You know, sometimes they can use, technology, computers to kind of make it look like somebody wrote it by hand, but you can still tell it's printed. This, however, is a handwritten letter. Not even dear sir or ma'am. It says dear William at the top, which is interesting. And I've gotten these letters, I would say, about 4 times a year. It comes from the Jehovah's Witnesses of St. Petersburg. And there was this one lady, I can't remember her name, who wrote me, but she appeared to be very old because it was cursive and it looked like her hand was a little shaky. So my thought was, are the Jehovah's Witnesses using elderly labor to avoid no soliciting signs on doors and knocking on doors? Because I think this is a new thing since the COVID era where you couldn't go knock on doors anymore. It seemed like it was sort of declining anyways. And I'm impressed with the craftsmanship here and the time that it takes to handwrite these letters and put them in the mail. I'm assuming I'm not the only one to get these, but now I'm kind of wondering, did I somehow end up on a short list for the Jehovah's Witnesses to try to recruit? Because I can't imagine they're writing these letters to everybody in St. Petersburg, right?
That seems unlikely.
Have you ever gotten one of these?
I have, yes.
A handwritten one?
Again, I thought it was handwritten. I mean, are you sure that it is?
I'm positive.
Okay.
Positive. Because it made me kind of, I was a little concerned because this is from Cheryl, a different woman. And I think I can't remember what the other lady's name was, but I know this is a different lady. And I'm kind of worried that she died.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm not on her list anymore. Somebody else inherited her list.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to them for, finding creative ways to waste their time. Their last few years on earth, they're wasting it away by writing to people who have no interest in what they're saying. But you know what? If it brings them some sort of peace of mind and they feel like they're doing the Lord's work, who am I to take that away from them?
I'm not as hostile as I used to be towards religion. You're right; it is a waste of time. I'm not gonna join the Jehovah's Witnesses. I
Hmm.
don't have any interest in joining any sort of organized religion, any sort of organized anything. Really, I have no interest in joining political action. None of that. In fact, I want to stay as far away from that stuff as possible. I do like the communal aspect of it, having some sort of community to be a part of, but I like Christmas and I like celebrating my birthday. And I know that Jehovah's Witnesses are big on not celebrating holidays. So that would probably be, I would say, last on my list. If I had to join a religion, I think Jehovah's Witnesses would be the last.
Yeah, they don't seem like a fun bunch. Not so much.
Yeah, I don't know if I've known any personally.
I
But,
have.
oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Guess who joined? I don't know if it's one of your favorite people. She's not with us anymore because she choked on a noodle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, your aunt by marriage.
Aunt by marriage. She had some people come to her door and signed up. Because I wondered who signs up for these things, going door to door like that. But there are people that apparently do. And I don't know if my uncle's is still with that or not. I'm not, because I think he joined by proxy. I think he was just like, whatever you want, I'll do whatever you want. So I'm not sure if he's still part of the crew or not.
Probably not, I would guess.
I would assume not, but I don't know. I gotta ask him next time I see him if he's still doing. I don't even know what you do. You don't celebrate any holidays. Do you go to church?
You have weekly meetings. I think they're called meetings. It's not called mass or church, but
Mhm.
meetings. Actually, some of my good friends from high school, I actually saw them in December. They're Jehovah Witnesses, and I was friends with them in high school. And I remember would have to, sneak. I was friends with both of them, but they ended up getting married. The guy was Jehovah's Witness, and I would have to sneak him birthday gifts, because he didn't really care about it, but his parents did. So I was like, all right, here's a birthday gift. And thinking when he, was able to leave the house that he would be able to just not be free of it. Well, to impress the family, his now wife became like, she converted, and then she became like the one that was the dedicated one. So now
Mhm.
they have two children, and now he doesn't even want to go, but she like drags him there, still trying to impress the family, even though they've been married for, 12 years. So.
It's just not gonna happen. If it hasn't happened by now, it's just not gonna happen.
What do
Yeah,
you
that's a weird one. But I will say I always take the time, even though I know what it is. I know it's solicitation to join them and at their meeting and
Yeah.
just see what it's about. Nice people, and I'm sure they are nice people, undoubtedly. Um, I always read them. If they took the time to handwrite me a letter, I take the time to read it.
Yeah.
But again, it's just falling on deaf ears. You think like I think I get these like twice a year. So maybe and I think this is my third one. So maybe they follow baseball rules, like 3 strikes, we're out. We
Maybe.
won't write anymore. But
I
I
doubt
did
it.
I did get some illumination on this. Somebody called into the Johnny B show, a man who sounded remarkably like Elmer Fudd. And I believe he might have been part of the church. And he explained that they have, I guess you could just go online, just like anything else, and find, addresses for people living in your community. And then you literally break up the list, put it in an Excel spreadsheet and then go, this is your, list. This is who you got to hit. This is who you got to write. And every letter is apparently customized and they just break it down. And it's an original message too. I've heard for each one, a slightly different.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't know if you're familiar with like the premise of Jehovah's Witnesses, but of what I know, and I know very little about the religion, but there's a limited a number of spaces in heaven,
Mm.
is what they believe. So it seems kind of counterintuitive to try to, get more members when that reduces your chance of getting into heaven.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Is it? Do you know what the number is?
It's not very much. I feel like it's like 13,330. I'll find out for you. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm on it right now. Actually, Jehovah's Witness. Let's see here. According to Google, there's 144,000
Okay.
bots, and there's only about 8,500 remaining, is what it says here.
Yeah. 144,000. That's such a random number. So how many Jehovah's Witnesses are there worldwide? Let's find out.
Yeah, it says Jehovah's Witnesses believe that actually 144,000 Christians from the Pentecost of 33 AD until the present day will be resurrected in heaven as an immortal spirit.
What are they doing? There's 8.7 million.
Jehovah's Witnesses?
Yes, they have around 8.7 million active followers in 239 countries worldwide. So what are they doing? This seems...
Well, it says here that Jehovah's Witnesses believe that when a person dies, their existence completely stops. This is because the Bible makes it clear that human beings do not have an immortal soul that survives when the body dies. Witnesses believe that hell does not exist either. So they're kind of, what's the deal?
Jews don't believe in heaven or in hell either, so...
What do you say? I like how Google has other things, I guess, that people have Googled. And this one says, what do you say to a Jehovah's Witness when someone dies? You just say, I'm sorry for your loss. It's good advice for anybody.
I think that's the standard what you say when someone dies, right?
Yeah, I think that's good advice for anybody. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that exactly 144,000. Yeah, you're right. What do the rest do then? I guess they just go, well, this is what we believe, or they've been
But then they're in like limbo or purgatory.
no, they're just they believe that you're just gone. They believe what you believe, pretty much, that your existence stops at death.
Yeah, I think they believe in purgatory though. Like I could be wrong, but I think that there's like a holding cell because they certainly believe in a soul. So obviously these souls have to go somewhere.
No, they just said no, they don't. They don't believe in a soul that continues on anyways.
Oh.
Believe in, would you say purgatory?
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses believe in purgatory, do not believe in purgatory.
Oh, all right.
They believe that after one dies, one's existence completely stops with the possibility of being resurrected by God.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There is it's not like it's almost like a blacked out purgatory where you're just like asleep. You're not doing anything. You're not experiencing anything, but maybe, God would be like, yo, and kind of zap you out. And then whoa. And you're like,
it seems to be odd. Like if you're really fighting for a position, and there's clearly almost 9 million of them worldwide. You're already fighting pretty hard for a position to get in that 144K select. So why would you want to recruit more members?
I guess it's just true believers, right? They're just like, this is the right way, just like everything else, politics, religion, anything. This is the right way to do things. You should come aboard because it's right.
You know what? Let me text my friend right now. I feel like he could at least illuminate a little bit of what's going on here, because to me that really makes no sense. It seems antithetical.
Yeah. I agree.
How should I word this? I haven't talked to this person in a while. I'm just gonna go question and then ask.
Okay. What's your question?
I'm gonna go, why do Jehovah Witnesses recruit when there's only 144K spots in heaven available?
That's a good question. It must be just, my guess is true believer. They just think that this is the right way, and you should be a part of what God wants, no matter what, even if you are not one of the ones chosen to move on.
Yeah. All right. Well, I sent it. He's usually on within seconds, so we'll see how that goes.
In the meantime, Anna, have you been swimming at any point in the bay? Or
no, I don't swim unless it's in the shower. So no, I hate the water. I don't like the water. Although actually, I did go kayaking Oh God.
Uh-oh.
I did go kayaking on Saturday.
Yikes. Not
Uh,
good. Are you feeling sick?
Huh?
Are you feeling ill?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
SpaghettiOs.
Bad news, Anna. 5 people are confirmed dead in the Tampa Bay area because of flesh-eating bacterium known to lurk at beaches. According to Florida Health, the Vibrio vulnificus
Oh,
bacteria.
that guy.
Yeah. Natural habitat is warm, brackish seawater because it requires salt to live. The bacteria typically grow more quickly in warmer months. Infections are rare, but health officials say that those with open wounds, cuts, or scrapes should stay out of the water. Do you have any open wounds?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
SpaghettiOs.
5 people have died this year from reported bacterial infections, including 2 in Hillsborough County and 1 each in Pasco, Polk, and Sarasota counties. There have been 26 reported cases of infections in Florida since January. In 2022, there were 74 total cases and 17 deaths. So this isn't really something new this year. And I kind of wish I knew that before I brought this story up. I didn't really read this story as well.
It's
So it's
okay.
something that goes on every year. I thought it was
I
brand
heard
new.
about this, the brain-eating amoebas and whatnots.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The lakes. It's a danger being alive. There was something in here though I wanted to get to. Bacteria can invade the bloodstream. No. It is not transmitted from person to person, but people experiencing symptoms should seek medical attention immediately. It had a lot to do with the doo-doo that's getting dumped in the water too during Hurricane
No.
Ian. I saw that St. Pete just had another leak of 10,000 plus gallons into one of these. What is going on? Can they not? Is it because a bunch of people moved here or something? St. Pete was notorious during the former administration. Just couldn't get the wastewater deal under wraps. They were just dumping doo-doo, spraying doo-doo all over neighboring Gulfport and
Oh, you can't be doing that.
just spraying their doo-doo all over the place.
Just maybe an influx of people. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's not good.
No, that certainly is for sure.
Still
Not
happening,
good.
and they're not really getting it under wraps yet. So I don't know. I don't know if they ever will. What the plan is. There was something to do with a waste treatment facility that was closed, and that's when they started having problems. Apparently, that was during the former administration did that.
Mm.
I don't know. St. Pete, you gotta stop spraying doo-doo all over the place because it's making people sick. We're getting flesh-eating bacteria from doo-doo. I would suggest if I were advising Mayor, what's his name now?
Not Bert Kreischer or whatever.
Yep.
Mayor Ben Carson.
That's not it. His name is, boy, this guy doesn't really get out there as much. I knew Mayor Kreisman's name. He was out there a lot. He was
It's like a one syllable, like first name, last name.
It is, let's see. Let's just Google it. And I'm wondering if this is because I'm doing a program right now that I can't think of it, or because I just don't know. Ken Welch.
See, I was right. One syllable.
Yeah. So Mayor Welch, stop spraying your doo-doo all over the place. It's very bad. Let's see. Oh boy, we got some comments here. Someone said, ask cat named Mo. Okay, I will. 144 spaces in heaven. Yep.
My friend sent me a link to a website.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Just tell me why.
Thanks a lot, friend. They got that number from a text in the Bible when I heard that it didn't make any sense. Okay. Yep. LDS Church thinks Hitler's okay. All right.
Those are the Mormons. I learned about them. I watched a documentary about the Mormon Church. It's pretty crazy.
Yes.
It's basically like Scientology. It's like one step like less crazy, but still wild.
Okay, I'll ask Mo tonight and see what I don't get to record it and be like, is Hitler in heaven, Mo? yes or
Is
yes.
he Mormon?
No, not Mormon. I think he grew up LDS.
I thought
No,
LDS
no, no,
was
no.
that's
Sorry.
a Mormon Latter-day Saints or something.
Yes, you're right. He grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Word.
So who said LD? Oh, LDS. Javier said LDS. Okay.
Mm.
I work for Mormons. I'll text my boss and ask him later though. Interesting. I'm learning a lot today about faith, about the LDS, about Jehovah's Witnesses, and tell your friend, thanks for giving me homework. I just had a question. You could have just answered
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Thanks for nothing.
He wants to know the link of the podcast. I'm like, no, you will not get that from me because you've
Why not?
provided no information.
Okay. Well, still just give it to
Of
maybe
course,
people
of course.
listen to it. HMBradio.com. That's the website. Before we're totally thrown off YouTube. It was vaccine information. Now we got Javier saying stuff about the big H-man. I don't know how long we're going to survive, but we're going to enjoy it while we're here. Anyway, Anna, I have this story too. This was actually last week when I saw this, but I feel like it's an evergreen topic. And I'm glad because it has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with politics. It's this. Can you read that? It says, my wife has a
I read
terminal.
that article. Yes.
And she-
Oddly enough, I got it from prep for my Bubba show as well, and I read all of it because I was like, this can't be.
It's fascinating. So this fella, he found out that his wife has this terminal illness, and she has a request, one last wish before she dies. Make a wish for adults, essentially. She wants to have sex with her ex because that's the best sex that she's ever had. And now she's married to this guy, and apparently he's not laying it down as good, laying the pipe. So she wants to, get down with her ex. What would you do in this situation? It's really, he kind of expressed that if I don't do it, I'm a dick. But if I, do it, I'm a cuck, and I don't want that. She's my wife. So he didn't really know what to do.
Well, it seems pretty obvious to me that she's faking this terminal illness because usually people who are dying of a degenerative disease aren't really horned up. They're just trying to go to the bathroom and live and find the will to, eat and stay awake. So the fact that she wants to get laid some good pipe before she dies seems like it might not be the real deal. Also, so you reach out to your ex, who's to say that they want to or are available, or there's just so many what ifs.
So
But if I were, let's just, play
Yeah.
the game, if this were real and I was in this situation, I think it's time that you just die alone, is what I would say, and bid that person adieu.
leave the wife? Or you mean that she should not do this?
Well, both, obviously, but if the request was made to me, I don't think I would stick around. I think I would just say, I think I'm done here. If that's the last thing you want from me is permission to fuck somebody else, and you want me to be here to wipe your ass and hold you as you die, that's a lot to ask of a person, without even really having to ask. But then for that person to want to have sex with somebody else, I think I wouldn't stick around for that. And I honestly don't think I would feel bad about letting them die alone. Like I really wouldn't, truly. So
Let me propose something to you. First, are you insinuating that this is fake?
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
It might be because it came from Reddit, and I'm willing to concede that it could be fake.
yeah.
We also live in this weird culture where it could totally be real. I could totally see it happening. So some of your other concerns, number one, how do you know that the ex-boyfriend would be down? Throw a text message out. Hey, I'm thinking about asking my husband, since I'm dying, if we can bone it out one more time. Would you be down?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Guy says yes. All right. So now she knows. Now she can go to the husband guilt-free. What was your other concern? There was one other thing.
That she's not really sick.
Oh, she's not really sick. Okay.
She's faking it. Like the story might be real, but she is not actually ill.
So it could be she might have just got diagnosed and feels pretty okay right now, and maybe it's just going to get quickly exponentially worse over a short period of time.
Perhaps.
So let me throw this at you, because I think I found a solution to this. Now it's going to hurt, but if you love this person, if you love this woman, and this is her dying wish, you want her to be happy, you got to say yes. However, it's got to come with a proxy here, because, or some sort of condition, because you're married and you're not supposed to cheat. You're not supposed to be doing that stuff anymore. So he gets a pass too. Now he can cash in that pass with an ex, or maybe it's just like guys, it's not as easy to find, people that will bang him necessarily. So he might have to call like a Craigslist type of situation, or a back page where he calls a phone number, and it can't be when she's dead already. She has to be alive when it happens. She has to feel the pain, at least for a period of time. So if they both get their pass and they both bang other people, I feel like that might be a good compromise for this situation.
I mean, if you want to live a relationship of getting equal and back at each other, then great. But I don't think I could do that. So I just have to say, listen, you can do whatever you want. I'm not here to stop you, but you're gonna have to die alone then. So you kind of turn the ultimatum on them, or the decision on them. You go, like, that's fine. You can bang whoever you want, but I'm leaving then, and you will die alone. So you choose what
Right.
So
Yeah, but it's their only thing they want before they die. I mean, they're dying.
then go for it. Like, again, not going to stop you, but then don't expect me to sit around and wait for you like a goddamn little, bitch, holding you as you die. Yeah, like, is your ex going to wipe your ass and change your colostomy bag? I don't know.
I'm assuming no. I'm
Right.
assuming that would be.
Yeah,
No.
you don't. Yeah, I would just.
Okay, what about two, where the guy gets two passes and she only gets one, so it doubles up?
Yeah, again, like, if you want to live your relationship of getting even and equal, and if your relationship is a tally of who can inflict more pain than the other, like, count me out. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But again, different strokes for different folks. Some people like that getting even. I no. Mm-mm.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like if it's her last wish, then okay. If you love that person, you really want them to be happy, but but I see what you're saying too. Now I mean, you make sense.
Yeah, I mean, you want them to be happy in condition. I mean, there's obviously conditions. If she was just like, I want you, make me really happy. If you would say she needed a heart transplant, oh, I really want you to go and kill someone to get me a heart. It's my dying wish for you to kill someone to get me. You'd be like, no.
Oh, that's not the same thing.
Well, what I'm saying is everything has conditions. So this whole, like, you want them to be happy, that has parameters. Yeah, I took it to the extreme, but again, everything, it has conditions and parameters. You're not going to just do whatever. So
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't, and I read the article and it was funny. Someone was like, just because you're dying doesn't give you permission to be like an a-hole, and I agree with that.
I don't know. Maybe it does. It's like, I'm gonna be dead in 6 months, so this is what I
Again,
want. I'm gonna be really truly selfish here. And yeah, I guess you're right. The guy could necessarily be like, all right, I'm out. Then, like, yeah, go ahead, do it. But
right. No
sure,
one's
it's under the
telling you.
condition that they still want to be together. She wants to be with her husband, but she just wants to have a carnal session with a man who knows how to lay the pipe, that the husband can't lie, you know?
Right. Yeah. It just seems unlikely when you're suffering from a terminal illness that you're thinking about getting snapped.
Clearly this has been something that's been on her mind for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, maybe this guy broke her heart, the ex broke her heart, and then she met this guy and it was like, he's a nice guy and he's good to her, and she's like,
Yeah.
I'm getting old and I'll just marry this guy. But she doesn't really have that, romantic love, I guess, maybe even, or this
Passionate.
lust.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, this lust. It was just like, this is a legit dude. I love this guy. He's really good to me, but he can't lay the pipe like the last guy. And I've been thinking about this other guy's pipe
Yeah.
for years now. And now that I'm dying and I'll be dead soon, I want to get that pipe one last time.
Well, I mean, it's a gamble. It's not a gamble I think one should make, but it's not my life and my determination to make. But yeah, I'd be like, sure, go ahead, just have fun dropping dead alone. Bye. See you later.
But you say you don't want to hurt, you don't want to have to be hurt, but that's hurting. I mean, that's going to hurt the wife that's dying really bad.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think that just because you're dying gives you the liberty to be an a-hole, especially to people who are going to be suffering immensely along there with you. They're going to have to be the ones dealing with you after you're gone and taking care of you and watching you degenerate and saying your last goodbyes and organizing the funeral. Like, that's a lot of work that someone didn't ask for. And then for you on top of that to be like, by the way, I also want to blast my ex. Like, I'd be like, yeah, alone. Goodbye. See you later.
What's worse, if she asked or she just did it and didn't say anything, and the husband never found out?
Oh, I mean, I'm a true believer in, like, what you don't know can't hurt you, especially in that late in the game. Truly, like, ignorance is truly bliss. Problem is you always run the risk of them finding out.
Yeah. Sir Neil says the guy don't need a pass. In 6 months she'll be dead. He's free to sleep with whoever. Yeah, but the point being that she's causing him pain. This dead woman or dying woman is causing him pain. And my theory is that if he also does it, lets her know so she experiences the same pain, then you're kind of balanced out as far as the pain spectrum goes. That would be my theory.
Yeah, that sounds like a loving relationship where we're experiencing the same amount of pain.
Well, I mean, like, it's equitable, at least.
Of course, but I don't want to be in an equitably painful relationship with someone, or our relationship is based on the amount of pain we're inflicting on each other.
I
But
mean,
again, like, I know people who are like this, where they're just like, "Oh, I get a pass and he gets a pass, and it's cool." I'm like, "All right, I can't deal with that emotionally, but maybe some people can, So
there is a degree of pain that she's already committed against that husband just by asking him, letting him know, number one, you're not throwing down the pipe.
Mhm.
Like this other dude, that's already, will fracture a man's ego. And number two, just letting it be known that she's going to bang this other dude, or wants to at least. And now he's got to make the decision, which is even kind of like, now it puts him in a weird spot because he's like, I don't want to say no to my wife. It's her one last wish. I love her and I want her to be happy, in her final days, or months or whatever. But also, I don't want this to happen. I mean, that's putting a lot of the responsibility in his corner, who, he doesn't deserve that. If she wants to go.
No, yeah. I mean, if it really did happen, which I don't think is likely, but in the event that it did, yeah, I feel like asking is almost just as worse as doing the deed and going through with it. Because once you know that she's thinking about it, you're like, wow, you're dying, and you're just thinking about his penis. That's sad for me. I might kill myself before her. Maybe that's really the goal that we're not the goal, but the resolution we're not seeing here is he just kills himself before she dies, and then she has to carry on with
man,
the last sad 5.5 months with knowing that she inflicted so much emotional pain on her husband that he ended up offing himself, so he couldn't even take care of her.
Oh my God, that would be
our ending, So
if she just approached him in her wheelchair, like rolled up to him,
yeah,
and asked him,
like, Chester,
yeah,
dead.
Oh, you mean she died before she got? That would be the best case scenario. She just died before she even got to ask, and then he would hold her in high regard. I was thinking she would roll up to him, ask, and then he would be like, just pull out a gun, and R. Bud Dwyer himself right there, right in front of her.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking she rolls up on him and he ended up killing himself. I mean, either's great. Either's
That's
cool.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, either's good. So I don't know whatever happened. Apparently, this was from 2 years ago on Reddit, and I don't know if there was any sort of, you know, uh,
Follow up, probably not because it's a fake story. But hey, it's cool. It's a cool, even if it's fake, which it's an interesting thought experiment. It's the what do you value yourself, other people, what are your boundaries? It's telling of your values and your boundaries. So
mm-hmm. So I'm still going with fine. You can cheat, but you have to know that I cheat too, and we have to suffer the same amount of pain. But I don't fault you for your. I'm just gonna peace out and miss my last 6 months with my person that I love.
but here's what you're missing is that if a woman wants to sleep with another man, she's checked out. Like
Mm.
she doesn't really care what you're doing. So if
Yeah,
you're like, "Well, I'm gonna sleep with someone else," she's probably like, "Oh no, don't do that."
interesting. Yeah,
She doesn't care. So the level of pain you think you're inflicting is actually much less
Mm,
because she
mm,
doesn't care about you.
yeah, yeah. That's a good point. You're right, and because there is differences between men and women. Uh, yeah, I think a man could cheat and still like want to be with their partner, but you're right.
Yes.
Maybe it could be different for women.
Yeah, I hear a lot about that in the red pill community, where it's very hard for women to conceptualize like why would you want to sleep with someone else if you love me, sort of a thing. But that's where the few differences, because there really are just a few differences between men and women, and they're pretty minute, to be honest with you. And when you think about the vast things we have in common, like anger, sadness, happiness, being tired, sleep wake cycle, voluntary movements, heart beating, like all these things that are controlled in the brain. Very few differences when it comes to just like preferences and whatnot. But one of them is like, yeah, a man could easily have sex with like a random woman and feel nothing, and then come home to his wife and want to be with her and love her. Whereas with women, that's usually she's detaching emotionally first. So by the time she actually has the physical affair, she's already out of love and sorts with her current partner. So
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even really consider that. You're right, though. Now, let me ask you this because you're kind of a unique
yes.
broad.
Oh, sorry.
You're a lady, but I don't know, you're not at the same
Genius. I
time.
think genius is the word you're looking for.
Well, maybe I was gonna say more R-worded.
Well, sometimes that's an idiot savant, right? Like, by the
True.
way, side note, we'll get back to what you're going to ask. You got to watch Down for Love. That is all. Okay.
That is good. Um, how do you put the toilet paper roll on your toilet paper roll?
Facing
Over
down.
or under?
Over.
You put it over, so it's hanging
Yeah,
frontward.
I'm not an animal.
Okay, interesting. Because I was just bitching about every time I go over to a house who is a person's house who is a female, they always have it under, and that's totally the wrong way.
Totally.
Obviously, that's the wrong way.
Yeah. Yes. There's not a lot of female engineers, but I'm one of them. So I
Have you
know.
always done that, or did you learn?
No, I've always done that. I think maybe I learned. Maybe someone yelled at me one time. Maybe it was you even. I don't know. Someone was like, "Why are you doing it like that?" I don't even remember. I remember someone yelling at me about it, but then I'm like, that makes so much sense because it's not hanging
Yeah.
now.
It's not hanging and it rips,
Yeah,
along the perforation that's there.
yeah,
When you try to tear it from underneath, you always tear it and it doesn't rip along the
yeah. Or it
perforation.
just keeps pulling, and then you have all this extra toilet paper.
I don't
I don't remember who yelled at me for that doing that, but it was. I think it was definitely a man. So
Okay, so you used to put it under though.
I think I used to just not notice. So maybe it was like 50-50. Like I would just put the paper, the toilet paper in and not really know what side I was facing or pay attention to it until someone was like, "Why do you do that?
Mm.
Go like that." So
And then you were like, "Oh, that makes sense."
that makes sense.
Interesting.
And now I shame other people who don't do that. So
Good, you should.
I do.
I do it every time. I try to. I'm trying to like Pavlov's dog, trying to train my girl not to do it. Every time
really?
I'm at her
What
house.
is your treat?
What's that?
So what's the treat?
Oh, there is a treat that's involved. I can assure you. No,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just trying to classically condition. Whenever I see it underneath, I switch it around and put it over.
But do you say something?
I haven't. I don't think I've said anything explicitly yet, but I'm thinking about making a suggestion. See, this is a thing that can turn into a fight, and I don't want to. It's her house, right?
Mhm.
Do whatever she wants in her house. I'm coming in there. Hey, you should do it. Why you got to correct me? What does it matter? It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
True. All these are true, but
Yeah.
there's also, it's more just there's a right way to do something. Is something wrong? Then you should do it the right way. I mean, right?
Yeah.
It
Usually,
doesn't turn into a fight.
yeah. Usually, what I do, and I don't know if this works with every person, let alone every woman, but usually, when I want to say something that could be considered passive aggressive or aggressive, you just go, "Can I make a suggestion?" and you not be mad at me. I say that pretty much all the time to Bubba. Like, "Can I say something and you not be mad at me?" Now, granted, sometimes he always says yes, and then sometimes when I do say it, he does get mad at me. So maybe it doesn't work. But at least I have it on record of him saying I won't get mad at you. So it's one of those things where if you ask if you could make a suggestion and then they get mad, you're like, well, this is why I asked you. But then again, you're like, is it even worth it to mention?
Mm,
What's the
yeah.
point? So
I don't know. Like, that's why I'm trying to do I'll switch it around, and then she just automatically kind of picks it up where, oh, it goes over.
I don't think she will.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
think
she will think that she put it in like that.
it's a gal thing though. I don't know I've never seen a man put it under.
Yeah, no, it should always go over.
Javier says that females got rules in the restroom, even with the toilet seat up or down. I keep my tissue roll on the counter. So I would say if I put the seat up, I put it back down because it goes down. Just much like the toilet paper roll. Unless you're like a bachelor but if you're sharing your space, you should put it back down. What if you got to do a number 2? Now you got to put it back down anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I always go with down and toilet paper over. He says he keeps the toilet tissue on the counter. I do that sometimes too,
Me too.
which is kind of piggish, honestly, Javier.
Really, it also depends how your bathroom's configured. Like if the toilet paper handle is like behind you sometimes,
Yeah.
then you're like, that's stupid. That's how it is in one of our bathrooms here. So we keep it on the counter.
But how easy would it be just to, when you're done, to hang it back up?
Hang the toilet paper?
Hang the toilet paper back up on the roll behind you. And then when you use it again, you take it off, put it on the counter.
That would be annoying. Because you would have to undo, like it's not just hanging and you pull it off. You'd have to like do the little finger trap thing,
Yeah. Okay, so I got one of those ones that's just like a hook.
Yeah, no, we don't have that.
Just take it off, put it back on. We're just gonna invest in one of those.
Yeah.
So, that'd be a good solution for everybody. Neil says in the Caribbean, it's strictly over. It's strictly over everywhere, Neil. It should be, anyways. I think that's the lesson here today. If your girlfriend puts it under, punch her in the back of the head and scream at her and say, "We put the effing toilet paper over." Not
and you know what she's gonna say?
And you do it again, I'm gonna kill you.
No, she's gonna go, "You committed a battery against me! You committed a battery against me!"
I didn't even make that out. That sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher yelling. I didn't hear any of that.
You
None
don't
of
know
that.
what that's from?
No. What was it from?
You committed a battery against me! You committed a battery against me!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do know. I do know what that's from. Wow. I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
there. Anna, thank you so much for your time. And I'm looking forward to talking with you again very soon. It's always a pleasure.
All right. See you later, Will.
Funny stuff, man. Funny stuff. Catch me on the Johnny B show at 10 p.m. tonight. Kelly's back. I can't wait to hear about Beyonce. That's going to be fun. And what else? Subscribe to the podcast. You know, even if you're listening here, please subscribe to it. Give it 5 stars. It helps with the algorithms and all that stuff, and share it if you wouldn't mind to. I hate to beg, but I'm begging you to share it because I want people to watch it and it's fun. See, Neil liked it. Here's proof. Thank you, Neil. I enjoyed having you and your conversations and your comments. Thank you, Javier, as well, for doing that. And I guess that's it. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.